Beginning, everything happens in the present. The day folds like a tired tide. The windows store their light. The city sighs. You close an invisible notebook, put out a small fire in your head, and spread 10 riverstones over the bed. Rites that order the mental water. Guilt loses its teeth. Anxiety unplugs its cables. The body gives itself to a gentle weight. You lie down. You trust. Darkness at last is an ally. You sleep, and the night returns you clean to dawn. Justification. The last hour is the mold of sleep, and sleep is the secret workshop where the mind repairs. Entering the night with screens, hurry, and comparison is signing a contract with sleeplessness. Entering with rites is teaching the brain that it can let go. Buddhism sees it as a threshold, small causes, deep effects. 10 repeated gestures sculpt a nocturnal character, and a compassionate nocturnal character changes how you wake, decide, and love. It is not magic. It is rhythm, intention, and training. Today, these practices return peace to you in small but constant installments. Outside, engines switch off like animals finding their den. Balconies store conversations. A fan draws circles in the air. At this hour, the common enemy is ancient and cunning. Anxiety, self-criticism, dopamine that does not sleep, the echo of others' voices. You do not fight noise with noise. You bring order with ritual. 10 rites, 10 bridges to cross from doing to being, from pushing to embracing. First rite, concrete gratitude that closes the circle. Not a hollow litany, not a postcard slogan. 3 gratitudes with name and surname. Thank you for the glass of water that saved me in mid-afternoon, for the doorman's smile that gave me back my humanity, for the message I finally sent despite fear. Each gratitude is a small pebble that turns down the volume of judgment. Name them softly, like one who gathers seeds. If the day was rough, look for the minuscule, the smell of bread on the corner, a cool patch of shade, a song that reminded you of someone who is no longer here. Gratitude does not erase fatigue, it frames it. And what is framed stops invading everything. You rest a hand on your chest for a moment. I am here. There was light between the cracks. You breathe. A page of the mind turns without tearing. Second rite. Simple purification with water and attention, not luxury symbol. Wash your hands as if you were washing a bowl that has passed through many lives. The water strikes the porcelain and sounds like a discreet bell. Let a thread fall over the nape, as if you were shaking the dust from a curtain. If there is a shower, let it be brief and conscious. If not, hands and face are enough. Feel the temperature, the weight, the path of the drops. The skin says to the mind, we can let go. When you dry yourself, do it gently, like dressing your sleeping child. The mirror is not a tribunal, it is a lake. Look at it as one looks at a surface that returns the sky, not defects. Bow your head slightly. Thank you for carrying me today. Third rite, lower the blinds on screens. Blue light is a city without night inside the skull. Touch the edge of the table and say, see you tomorrow. Turn off notifications as one turns off fireworks to see the stars. Remove the phone from the perimeter of your bed. If anxiety asks for its candy, offer it something else. A warm lamp, the spine of a book, a hand-drawn line, a steaming cup. If you need music, let it be like a river beneath the house, not a nightclub. Better a short, repeated list. The brain learns that this music is the ramp to rest. Lowering the light is not punishment. It is an invitation to the ancient eye that knows how to read the dark. Fourth rite, body scan as a visit, not an exam. Lie down and tour the body as a monk tours corridors, switching off lamps. Toes, insteps, ankles, calves, knees, rise through the thighs that carried you, the abdomen that digested, the chest that held emotions. In the throat, imagine a small knot you undo with the exhale. In the brow, a stone you drop into a pond. If you find a pain, do not expel it. Give it a name and a seat. It hurts here. Naming is embracing, and the embrace dulls the edge. Allow yawns, allow sighs. They are sacred valves of the body. The sheet is no longer a battlefield, it is a meadow. Fifth right, absolve small guilt in 3 lines. The mind becomes a nocturnal bookkeeper if you do not give it closure. Take the notebook you open only at night. Write with gentle ink. This failed. This I learned. This I will do differently tomorrow. 3 lines, not self-indictment. Close the notebook as one places a stone on a tiny grave. What was going to be rumination becomes a compass, and the compass at night prevents invented storms. If there is something that hurts because of its size, do not solve it now. Promise yourself one specific, small first step with a time. The brain breathes when it sees a plan. Sixth right, breathe with beads of light. Kind spine, loose jaw, inhale counting 4, exhale counting 6. Repeat 10 times. If you want, imagine fireflies. 4 enter, 6 leave. Or imagine a wave. It arrives, it retreats a little further. The long exhale is a bridge to the parasympathetic system, that serene shore. Do not try to convince the mind with arguments. Gift it rhythm. If a thought pushes the door, do not bar it. Place a cushion and say, "Sit, we talk tomorrow." Return to the beat. Breath is metronome and mother. Seventh right, silent offering, urban altar. You do not need religion, just a little place where you set a candle, a found stone, a photo of someone who made you better, a dry leaf from the park. You prepare tea or warm water as if it were a liquid prayer. You bow your face and say without sound, "May what I did today, clumsy or bright as it was, lessen even a drop of suffering." That intention removes your ego from center stage and sets the world there, breathing with you. The mind, decentered from itself, downshifts. You learn to sleep as those sleep who trust something larger than their own judgment. Eighth right, closing words that switch off interior rooms, not an imported mantra, a brief key in your language. 3 possible phrases. Today, I did what I could with what I had. I release what I do not control. I trust the night that repairs. Say it 3 times, like switching off 3 lights. Repetition arranges. If you prefer, write the phrase on a paper and leave that paper beneath the lamp, like a key under the doormat of sleep. The mind, friend of loops, will thank you that the loop be peace. Ninth right, posture of gentle surrender. On your side, like one listening to the sea, or on your back with hands over the abdomen. Release the tongue from the palate. Let the jaw weigh. The shoulders drop, the hips find ground. The bed is no longer a desk, it is a boat. Visualize a shore that demands nothing. If a persistent thought arrives, do not fight or feed it. Invite it to sit on the pier. Tomorrow, if the wave is strong, add a finger rosary. On the inhale, touch thumb to index. On the exhale, thumb to middle, and so on. Your hands remind your heart it is not out in the weather. 10th right, blessing for the world that does not sleep. Before crossing the threshold, remember those still awake. The one who tends a sick person, the one driving a night bus, the one who trembles from fear or loneliness. Wish for them what you wish for yourself. Enough rest, a body safe, a mind without new wounds. It is not magic, it is a direction of the heart. Compassion, in bed, heals the island of the self. You sleep less alone when you remember others. The city drops another notch. A late taxi, a dog conversing with its shadow, a door that finally closes with a whisper. Everything is matter for practice. Calm is not imposed, it is entrained. If the uninvited guest of memory arrives, return to a sensory anchor. The warmth of the sheet on your wrists, the weight of your heels, the sound of your own breath. Sometimes it helps to give the night a name. This is a night of slow rivers. The mind understands when you give it metaphors better than its fears, amplifying the rights. Long versions, short versions, emergency remedies. Gratitude, long version. If the day was very black, write a letter you will not send. Thank you for, and force the eye to find details. The glass that did not break, the door that did not slam, the body that, despite everything, made it here. Then tear the letter, not from hatred, but to release what has already been named. The gesture matters. Water, ritual version. Add coarse salt to a bowl. Wet your hands and visualize the salt taking away roughness. Rinse. It is not superstition, it is a sensory pact with the mind. The coarse goes down the drain. If there is no salt, it is enough to imagine it. Imagination also washes, screens, emergency remedy. If you must use the phone late, shift the color to warm, lower brightness to the minimum. Decide one last concrete action and a non-negotiable end time. Before setting it down, look out the window for 1 minute at the real darkness. Let the eye remember whom to obey. Body scan, tired body variant. If you cannot tour it all, choose 3 stations: feet, abdomen, jaw. At each one, 3 long exhales. 3 stations are enough for the train to slow down. Guilt, whirlwind protocol. If the tornado of should grabs you, write 2 columns. What depends on me tomorrow, and what does not depend on me. Fold the second column and place it beneath a heavy object. The symbol speaks. This does not move by thinking. Breath, lighthouse technique. Count 4 on the inhale, hold 2, exhale 6, hold 2, repeat. It is a square that is actually a sea with a lighthouse. The brief holds teach the mind it can pause without danger. Offering, minimal gesture. If there is no altar, place both hands on your chest and say within, may this rest serve me to serve. Intention is a portable altar. Closing words, small poem. Write a phrase like a haiku. I turn off the day. A warm wave covers me. The mind lets go. Short poetry slips past the guard of judgment and walks into the courtyard of rest. Posture, fine adjustment. Place a small blanket under your knees if you sleep on your back, or between your knees if you sleep on your side. The small changes angles, and angles change pains. The body rests when it does not fight its geometry. Blessing, expansion. Name 3 people, 1 you love, 1 neutral, 1 difficult. For each, a simple sentence. May you have peace. Your heart learns wideness precisely when it narrows from fatigue. Stories that teach letting go. A woman enters each night with her backpack of pending tasks. In the notebook, she writes, call my mother, apologize to Martine, sort the paper drawer. For weeks, she does not get past writing it. One night, she changes 1 thing. She adds to each pending a concrete 5-minute first step. Write a short message to Mom. Say 1 sentence to Martine first thing tomorrow. I overstepped. I want to repair. Throw out only 10 old papers. She sleeps. Not because she did, but because she turned mountains into steps. The mind loves steps. A night guard learns breathing with beads of light because his shift is a desert of screens. Inhale 4, exhale 6 every hour. He discovers that sometimes he cannot change the world, but he can change the rhythm with which his heart looks at it. He gets home with less edge. The home answers with less edge. A teenager fights guilt as if it were his mattress. The absolution notebook seems corny. He tries it on a rainy night. He writes badly, fast, angrily. He closes it anyway. He sleeps better than expected. Not by magic, but because the brain saw closure. He repeats for 3 nights. Habit that God, hungry for repetition, starts eating peace instead of worry. Buddhist depth of letting go. Letting go is not abandoning responsibility. It is stopping the push against what already happened and taking the rope of what you can move. Letting go is not forgetting. It is remembering without injuring yourself again. Letting go is not a hysterical, I no longer care about anything. It is an active care. I care so much that I need to rest in order to care better. Therefore, each rite is an act of compassion toward you and toward others. Sleeping well is not selfishness, it is indirect service. A rested person wounds less. Counterpoints and cognitive judo. The mind says, if I let go now, tomorrow will be worse. You answer, if I do not let go now, tomorrow I will be worse. The mind says, I need to check one more time. You answer, I need to breathe one more time. The mind says, I do not deserve to rest. You answer, no one deserves to burn. This inner conversation is not theatre, it is reform. A system changes with phrases that stop being a whip and become a guide. Small ceremonies that increase calm. Fold the day's clothes like one folds a story. Place a glass of water on the nightstand like one leaves a small lake within reach. Air out the room for 5 minutes so the old air leaves with the ghosts of the day. Turn off the main light and turn on a secondary one. The eye understands that the curtain falls. A soft, constant sound if the street roars. Fan, artificial rain, the murmur of a fountain. The brain sleeps better on seas than on earthquakes. How to live with difficult nights. There are insomnias that insist. In them, do not add guilt to insomnia. Let us call it compassionate vigil. If 20 minutes pass and sleep does not arrive, get up and go to another corner with very low light. Take 3 pages and empty the head, not to solve, only to drain. Drink warm water, return to bed, and repeat the briefest rite. The closing phrase. If it still does not arrive, sit with your back against the wall and meditate, looking at the shadow of your hands. It is not defeat, it is practice in the middle of the night. Buddhism does not ask for flashy victories, it asks for presence. How to teach the body to wait for sleep. The body learns associations. If you always fall asleep with the book in your hand, the book becomes a cradle. If you always fall asleep entangled in messaging, the messaging becomes an alarm. Decide which objects are keys, the 3-line notebook, the warm cup, the low lamp, the slow music. Use the same keys each night, not to obsess, but to loosen. Repetition is a balm when you choose it. Secular closing prayer, you may whisper it. May fatigue find a pillow. May the mind return the tools. May the heart not punish itself for what it has not learned yet. May my rest help me give rest. May this night be bridge, not wall. Now sum it up as a living vow. I renounce entering the night with screens lit and sharpened judgments. I renounce sleeping with imaginary debts on the pillow. I renounce fighting with a body that only asks permission to let go. I renounce the tyranny of should when the moon has already risen. I affirm, I choose gratitude that lowers noise. I choose water that teaches letting go. I choose breath that orders inner waves. I choose words that close doors that need not be open. I choose compassion that makes me part of the world. Close your eyes. Inhale 4. Exhale 6. Feel the soles of your feet, even if they do not touch the ground. Release the tongue. Let the heart sing low. Think of one person you love and one who is hard for you. Wish the same for both. Place your hand on your chest. This drum does not demand marches. It marks a human step. Say, thank you for bringing me here. In the city's buildings, thousands of lamps shut their glass eye. For an instant, it seems the whole city is a scattered monastery, each room a gentle cell, each bed a lay altar. You, monk in the city, do your part. You do not need incense if you have attention. You do not need a gong if you have breath. The night adopts you and asks the only thing it knows to ask, let go. Share this teaching with those who fight the pillow each night. With those who make noise not to hear their fatigue, with those who think resting is losing. Spread it like one who leaves a light on in distant windows, and if this path sustains you, walk with us. Subscribe to keep carving night after night the small monastery within the city. Because when the city slows its pulse, the heart remembers its language, and that language is learned by practice, one rite at a time, until sleep comes without being called, and the mind, at last, rests.